Praise your holy name, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah Krakadash. Yes, we'd like to give double honors to the elders at Great Millstone, on down to them youngins that's preaching this word sincerely with no gimmicks.
As I recall to my mind, therefore have I hope. It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. The Lord is my portion, saith my soul. Therefore will I hope in him. The Lord is good unto them that wait for him, to the soul that seeketh him. It is good that a man should both hope and quietly wait for the salvation of the Lord. It is good for a man that he bear the yoke in his youth. He sitteth alone and keepeth silence, because he hath borne it upon him. He putteth his mouth in the dust. If so be, there may be hope.
Yes, yes, yes. And today's lesson, brothers, is about listen now. The King of Terror. Buckle up for Jacob's trouble. The King of Terror. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. You know, they had a whole bunch of movies, you know. It's out, that scary movies, horror movies, And the movie that the Most High is shooting, what would you rate that? Would you rate it a love story? Would you rate it, rate it as a comical, we know the Most High got a sense of humor also, but with the nickname the King of Terror, it has to be, a horror story. Yes, yes, yes. That's what they don't know. They think it's all love, love, love with the Most High, But I think this is going to be a horror story. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, we had some movies called 1988, The Vanishing, 1982, The Candyman, 1975, Jaws, that was frightening, 1931, Frankenstein, 1973, Exorcist, 2002, 28 Days Later, 1996, Scream, 2017, Get Out, 1974, Black Christmas, 1976, God Told Me To, 1986, The Fly. I know y'all remember The Fly. It was scared of me. I was 16 then when it came out. 1976, Carrie. We all know about Carrie. 1980, The Shining. 1991, The Silence of the Lamb. Yeah. 1974, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. 2004, Saw. 1984, Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah. 1984, The Terminator. 2013, World War Z. 1986, Aliens. 1987, Predator. 1996, Independence Day. Yes. 2004, The Day After Tomorrow. 2000, Final Destination. And that Final Destination is still, I still be thinking about that when I walk under stuff. That Final Destination, it still fuck with me. 2015, The Gallows. Okay. So you can put all those movies in one big movie and it still won't match up with the greatest movie of all, who the Most High Yahweh is directing right now. Yes, the king of terror. Buckle up for Jacob's trouble. Yes, 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 yes. And here's the theme song for the two thuds and Esau. You know, 1, 2, Esau's coming for you. 3, 4, Jacob's knocking at your door. 5, 6, now your family in the mix. 7, 8, ain't no escape. 9, 10, no repenting for your sins. That's the theme song. That's the theme song. Yeah. And this came to me when a Jake sent me a clip of a scary movie he making, He sent me a clip, and I text him back, you like scary movies? Wait until this white man stump down on America. It's going to be a real scary movie, and you going to be the star of the movie. Jacob's Trouble, Jeremiah 30:7. Read it in your Bible. That's what I text him back. And for you Jakes that like scary movies, this one is in your town near you. And it's called Jacob's Trouble. And it's going to sneak up on your ass like a heart attack. Yes, the king of terror. Buckle up for Jacob's Trouble. Starring Yahweh by Yahweh Shai. Co-starring the two thirds. Also Esau Edom. Now let's get down to these precepts. Deuteronomy 28, 56 and 57. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not avenge to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicaciness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil towards the husband of her bosoms, and towards her son, and towards her daughter. It was a time and place when our women, they was tender and delicate. They wouldn't even sit they, foot upon the ground for delicacy. That they had a ground covered. And now, her delicacy and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil towards her son, towards her daughter, to husband of her bosom, and towards her young ones that come out of her from between her feet, and towards her children which she bear. For she shall eat them for the one of all things secretly in the siege and straitness, where then thy enemies shall distress thee in thy gate. So it's gonna be it's gonna get to a time that cannibalism gonna come back, and the women, gonna eat their own child. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, that they eating them with the bullshit that they send them to. They send them through the streets. They let them sell drugs, let them get ate up, out in the streets. It works a whole bunch of ways. But this King of Terror movie, they gonna get to a point where the women gonna get, evil towards their own kids, despising them, hating them, This movie is gonna turn out all the movies that you ever saw. 2 Kings 6, 24 through 27. And there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it until an ass head was sold for 80 pieces of silver, and a fourth part of a cab of dove dungs for 5 pieces of silver. So they were selling a dove shit, some shit for 5 pieces of silver. They was eating shit. And the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall. There cried a woman unto him, saying, Help me, Lord, O king. And he said, If Yahweh do not help thee, why shall I help thee? You know, so he's saying, if the Most High ain't helping you, bitch, I ain't helping you neither. Why the fuck should I help you? You know, and that's how it's gonna get. You know, in this horror movie, you know, that's coming up. You know, called Jacob's Trouble. Yes, yes, yes. It's gonna get bad in this movie. You know, you ain't even seen that. You know, it's just the beginning of sorrows now. Wait until the movie kick into full gear. Nicodemus 1 and 5. And said, I beseech thee, O Yahweh, power of heaven, the great and terrible power, that keepeth covetance and mercy for them that love him and observe his commandments. You know, so you heard that. You know, the great and terrible Yahweh. You know, that very terrible, very bad, awful, causing terror, frightful. You know, some people think the Most High is all love, but he the king of terror. Nicodemus 4 and 14. And I looked and rose up and said unto the noble and to the rulers and to the rest of the people, be not ye afraid of them, be afraid of them. Remember, Yahweh, which is great and terrible, and fights for your brethren, your sons and your daughters, your wives, and your household. You know, so the Most High is magnificent. You know, the terrible. You know, which is great and terrible. You know, so for the elect, even though we gonna go through this, you know, the Most High gonna fight for us. You know, and guess who gonna fight for us? The great and terrible. You know, so with a power like that on our side fighting for us, man. He said, the great, which is great and terrible, and it fights for your brethren, your sons, your daughters, your wives, and your house. You know, so if it's meant for the Most High to fight for y'all, he gonna fight for you. And if not, horror story. Nicodemus 9 and 32. Now therefore our power, the great, the mighty, and the terrible power, who keepeth his covenants and mercy, let not all the trouble seems little before thee, that has come upon us, on our kings, on our princes, and on our priests, and on our prophets, and on our fathers, and on our peoples, since the time of the king of Assyrians until this day. You know, so for the elect, you know, for us, you know, you put on like the elect. That's why I'm saying that I'm one of them. Hopefully, you know, we got to know that the great and mighty and the terrible Yahweh is on our side. You know, so with that on our side, you know, we might go through a little something, but the enemy at the end gonna get it. You know, I said, 1, 2, Esau's coming for you. Yes, but at the end, Esau gonna get it. You know, it's gonna flip on his punk ass, you know. But in the beginning, just like Freddy Krueger, everybody was scared. 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. Well, 1, 2, Esau. When Esau come for you, you better be scared, 2 thugs, because he coming with wrath. Job 41 and 14. Who can open the door of his face? His teeth are terrible round about. You know, so they talking about the Most High. They say his teeth So his army are terrible round about. So when the Most High, send that army with Yahweh Shai, they're gonna be terrible round about this motherfucker. They gonna tear up some shit. Esau don't got nothing on the Most High. He just using Esau for the sword. Esau blessing is the sword, and he's gonna use his blessing. Just like the 144 elect gonna use their blessings, which is spiritual, not carnal. Psalms 47, 1 and 2. Clap your hands, all ye people, shout unto the power with the voice of trumpet. For Yahweh Most High is terrible. He is a great king over all the earth. So terrible, causing terror, filled with fear, dread, frightful, to make afraid, to tremble, be afraid, shiver, weakened sense of very bad. You're going to have a weakened sense of something's very bad. It's going to happen awful, extremely or distressfully bad or serious. And that's the definition of terrible. And the Most High fits all of these. The Most High causes terror. He fills with fear. He'll fill your whole body with fear, with dread. I feel, I feel these things if I don't, stay with this word, if I don't continue to get down, I feel a little of them things like I don't want the Most High on my ass, you know what I'm saying? So I better do what I gotta do, what I have to do. This is my portion. This is my lot. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is what I'm put on this earth to do. So I feel these things when I know that when I'm slacking off or sorry man, you better get back to business, man. You better stop bullshitting, Remember the king of terror, he can switch shit up on your ass and have me like the 2/3 really hurting, and I don't want that. So I don't want to tremble, be afraid, shiver, but I still feel them things, because I know if I don't get down with the get down and do what I have to do, the Most High gonna send them to me. He gonna take my blessings away, and I don't want that. So that's why I'm right here preaching this word, because I know He the King of terror. Psalms 76 and 12. And I know that sometimes, my neighbors, they get upset with me because I be in my room doing this daily, sometimes 2 and 3 times. And these walls, that they thinner than a sheet of paper. They hear me, and they be laughing at me, giggling at me, but I'm going to preach this word. I don't care what they think. I'd rather let them do what they do than the Most High do what He do. They can laugh at me. They can giggle at me. They can tell jokes about me. But I'm going to preach this word. That's what I am going to do. 76 and 12. I will meditate also of all thy works and talk of thy doings. So I'm going to meditate on this word, all the time. That was 77. Psalm 77 and 12. And we were supposed to go to 76 and 12. But that was the spirit. The spirit around that one. I will meditate also of all thy works and talk of thy doings. And that's what we doing. We talking, we meditating, all day long, on it. We go to sleep thinking about this word. We wake up thinking about this word. We meditate, and we talk about thy doings, when we excuse me, brother, when we preach this word. So we going to Psalm 76 and 12. He shall cut off the spirit of the prince. He is terrible, to the kings of the earth. So he shall cut off the spirit of the prince. He is terrible to the kings of the earth. So the kings of this earth don't got nothing on what the Most High is. He terrible to them. He'll treat them real bad. So we even not to fear the kings of this earth. Donald Trump, fuck you. I don't give, he wants kings of America, the president, but we got the Most High on our side, so I give a fuck about, Donald Trump. You can eat a dick up till you hiccup. Psalms 99:3. Let them praise thy great and terrible name, for it is holy. So we ought to praise the Most High, his great and terrible name. That's what I'm saying. People all be thinking of love, love, love. And, when I was on the bus today, somebody was, Jake, when he get to talking, when he kind of scared, he get to talking. So Jake was talking. He's like, where the pastor's at now? I was like, you're right. He said, they ain't on TV, right now through this corona thing. So I told him about the 501c. I said, they can't talk about certain things. And he was like, yeah, because they don't got that bread basket. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ain't putting into the money, so they ain't really got shit to say right now. They ain't preaching this good word, but the prophets are. Yes. The prophets, they at it every day, giving this word out. But them old fake, phony preachers, that's pimping in a church house. That's all they doing. They pimping in a church house with their ATM machines in the back, and then when they do get that money, he said he go to a church, they give him 4 or 5 slips of envelopes, put in for this, put in for that, and then when a preacher walk out, he walk out with about 16 or 17 people, some bodyguards securing the money. So they pimping in a church house, and with us, we ain't asking for a thing. We just preaching this word because it's our lot to preach it. We was born to preach this word, to prophesy the Most High word. But them preachers, where y'all at right now? They tucked in a cut. Some of them at the dope house smoking dope. Some of them at the whole houses. Yeah, they doing what they do. And the prophets are doing what we do. We ain't asking for no change. We ain't asking for 2%. We ain't asking for no offering. We ain't asking for no tithes. Because the Most High got a reward for us. Ecclesiastes 9:14. There was a little city and a few men within, and there came a great king against it, and besieged it, and built great bulwarks against it. So, a bulwark is a barricade, a rampart, a construction of logs, meaning defense or security, a fortification outside a city wall or gate. And that's what they building up. Man ain't gonna be able to leave from city to city. They gonna shut down the airport, and you ain't gonna be able to go nowhere when this martial law hit. They gonna have barricades up, a rampart. They gonna have defense of security, a fortification outside the city wall, a gate. You ain't gonna be able to get in or out. Isaiah 1:8. And the daughter of Zion is left as a cottage in a vineyard, as a log in a garden of cucumbers, as a besieged city. So the daughter of Zion, we left We besiege, and besieges of a place surrounded by our army force, aim to capture it or force surrender. And that's what's happening. You can't go to the next city. When this martial law hit and this horror movie really jump into gear, the king of horror, the king of terror really get to jumping off. It start off smooth a little bit. Jake, he enjoying himself right now. He pimp, he a player, he a hustler. He got the bitches arguing, about him. They just doing it tough. But wait until the King of Terror movie get in the middle, in full swing. We gonna see how Jake feel about that. Isaiah 2:21. At 21? Yes, Isaiah 2:21. To go into the cliffs of the rocks and into the top of the ragged rocks for the fear of Yahweh and for the glorious of his majesty when he arrives to shake trembling the earth. So when the Most High come, when Yahweh Shah come, this world's for the shake, rattle, and roll, exalt, to elevate and rank or honor, glorify, praise, exalt, to grow tall from within, rise, elevate, flow out. So we to exalt, the Most High, for the fear of Yahweh and for the glory of his majesty when he arrives to shake terribly the earth, because he coming, he on the way, believe it or not. Isaiah 29:3. And I will camp against thee round about, and I will lay siege against thee with a mount, and I will raise forth against thee. Like I said, they ain't gonna be able to go out the city. They're gonna want to leave the city, or some of them gonna want to flee to New Orleans, and go with their family, or North Carolina, where they think it's safe at. But you ain't gonna be able to flee because they're gonna put a forest up. They're gonna seize, and the seize is to sit. The notion is of an army sitting down before a forest. Siege, a military operation in which the enemy force surrounds a town or building, cutting off necessities, supplies with the aim of compelling the surrender of these inside. So that's what's gonna happen. People gonna run out of fiddles. They gonna run out of victuals, to eat. They gonna come out here and have race riots. They gonna fight each other. They gonna be breaking each other houses, killing each other, hurting each other. It's gonna get real tough out here when they besiege the city. Jeremiah 20:11. But Yahweh is with me as a mighty terrible one. Therefore my prosecutors shall stumble, and they shall not prevail. They shall be greatly ashamed, for they shall not prosper. Their everlasting confusion shall never be gotten. So to the elect, the Most High, that he got us, but Yahweh is with us, is with me as a mighty trembling, terrible one. So Yahweh is with us as a mighty terrible one. Therefore, my prosecutors shall stumble. So they gonna stumble. They ain't gonna get to you, even though all type of things gonna happen surround you. You know, you gonna see people dying on the side of you, in front of you, you know. And they shall not prevail. They shall be greatly ashamed. They're gonna be ashamed. For they shall not prosper. Their everlasting confusion shall never be forgotten. You know. So the Most High gonna have the elect, some type of way wiggle up out of it. Even when we, when we think they got us, it's like shit. It ain't no way out of this for me right now. You got to keep that faith up, and before you know it, you're going to wiggle up out of that situation. You're going to wiggle up, like you gonna find yourself in safely place. Like, oh, how did I get out of that there? The Most High did it for you. Daniel 2:31. Thou, O King, sawest, and behold, a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form there was terrible. So it was magnificent, excellent, outstanding, distinguished, towering, superior, surpassing, manifest, magnified, So the Most High is a terrible, but a beautiful, excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. Even though the Most High is out excellent, outstanding, distinguished, superior, surpassing, but he's still terrible, a terrible sight to see. Yes. Daniel's 9:4. And like I said, this movie, The King of Terror, it ain't no love story. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and yes, how, Esau, always has it for Jake, stories to end up, what dead, Jake always end up dead, and for Esau, it's always a happy ending, He always win at the end with Esau. Even though Esau might be terrible than a motherfucker, he still end up, with a happy ending. Let's look at Brightburn. Even though he